Yeah, it's like super hard. I was like shaking so much and I was like nearly jumping out of my chair. As soon as we defended the Nexus with like 200 HP, I was like almost jumping.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Luckily, it's a lot of auto attacks on Caitlyn there. I want to pull up the replay on the screen of when you guys defended the Nexus twice to know what was going on in your heads. Because to us, it looked like, okay, it's lost 2 times around.
Yeah, we thought it was lost as well for a second, but we are like, let's try to defend. And we want to focus down the Graves pretty hard. We managed to do that. I don't even see anything like here. I'm just going for a Nautilus and the rest of my team clean up LeBlanc.
Yeah.
It was one more auto attack from LeBlanc and
it was over.
Lose,
this was the first time, and if I'm correct, we'll get the second one right after this right now.
Yeah, we didn't really expect them to rush the Nexus like that. I thought for a second they can finish again because they TP'd with Lissandra and they didn't deal enough damage to the Nexus.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
I was actually pretty scared at the time where Lissandra actually TP'd in and she started autoing me. So I think maybe if they actually ult in the Nexus, they might have had a better chance of finishing.
Yeah, maybe. It's always those little things, isn't it, Cyanide, when you have to hit that Nexus?
Yeah, it's using the locket and stuff like that.
Let's not bring that up again.
It gets very difficult when you're in the spot.
Guys, I do want to ask, how did it get back to this point? Because obviously you had a couple of champions that had to scale, but somehow so many kills on Power of Evil early and you guys meant to push through, and then all of a sudden Fnatic turned the tide.
It's because we just took bad fights. There was a fight where we engaged middle, and my ultimate wasn't even used in that fight because we were just in a bad position. I didn't see anything from the smoke screen or something like that. And then I just got 2 low HP. I didn't have any armor yet, so Graves was killing me pretty fast. So I think it was mostly because my ultimate got stuck. Let's say if I could ult Tristan or Power of Evil, he could probably do a lot more after reviving with Cassio. Mostly that. And after that we took some other bad engages as well.
Yeah, that Cassio Yorick combo with the new item, that name I can't remember right now. Yeah, it is like one of the most OP stuff I've seen in a while. It was just so sick when you actually executed the combo properly. It was looking impossible to Fnatic.
Yeah, exactly. With Luden's Echo, Cassio can just go for a more aggressive build because usually you can't afford to go Luden's Echo, otherwise you will be just too squishy. But with Yorick you can just go for it, and after Yorick ult you will still deal so much damage and like be a bit more tanky with that.
It almost seems unfair. You have Power of Evil, who's fantastic on Cassiopeia, then you have Luden's Echo, and then you have Yorick. It's like, enemy team, come at me. Actually, you were saying during the draft and after that you thought that the Caitlyn pick was going to lose the game for the Unicorns of Love. I'd love to hear your opinion and Vardak's.
Yeah, I didn't really understand. Why did you go for Caitlyn? Like, in my opinion, Caitlyn is pretty bad pick. Was it just to be a bit more safe on your own and then focus on like keeping the Cassie alive with the Yorick?
That's pretty much it actually, because Caitlyn with my range, I don't need to go full hyper carry because we want to save the Yorick ulti if possible for the Cassiopeia. So I can just play with my range, play a bit more further back and deal the damage I can while we focus our resources on Cassio winning the teamfights.
Yeah, and in the end it was you that dealt the final hits to the Nexus. Tell me about those last moments, because we were actually calling, oh no, they can't, they just can't, and then you did manage to kill it.
It was super nerve-wracking because we were 2v2 for a few seconds and we managed to kill down Lissandra, and I think Steelback thought he killed me with red buff, so he kind of left me to my own demise, so I was just life-stealing a bit and hitting the Nexus and I managed to take it down.
Yeah, so, whew. That's in the books, and you guys are actually 2-0 this week. Do you feel like the pressure of having to get that playoff spot and staying out of relegation zone, is that something that is making you thrive, and do better, Vizcachi?
Maybe it is in it as well, because we were like before this week we were so close to not being able to play in the playoffs, so we really had to get our strategies together and play our best. So this week I think we played really consistent. We want to continue it the next week as well.
Yeah, and Vardak, the same for you. Actually, if Elements don't manage to win their game later, that means you guys have locked in your playoff spot already, but of course you got your faith in your own hands as well. How do you think it's going to all play out?
Well, hopefully Elements loses so we're safe, but of course we just want to focus on our own game and try and go to our next week as well.
Yeah, and use all the energy you got from this game, of course, while going into next game and possibly into playoffs. And if you give us more of those exciting games, it's going to be amazing as well. Now, we have to take a short break and go on cooldown to catch our breath. But when we return, the Copenhagen Wolves have their chance to score a win off the top of the tables as they face the #1 SK Gaming. Of course, we'll be right here with all of the coverage in just 3.5.